They laughed at him every single day, not because he did something wrong, but because of how he looked. His name was Malik Johnson, 16 years old, quiet, brilliant, the kind of boy who fixed things nobody else even noticed were broken. But in Merriton High, that didn't matter. His skin was dark, too dark for their comfort, too dark for their kindness, too dark for their acceptance. Before we dive in, don't forget to like this video, hit the subscribe button, and tell me in the comments section where you are watching from. Now let's begin. In the hallways, they joked like it was a game. "Yo, Malik, you disappear when the lights go off." They said it loud enough for everyone to hear, even the teachers. But nobody stopped them. Even Mr. Conrad, his history teacher, looked away. Sometimes, Malik swore the man even smiled. So Malik stopped fighting back. He stopped speaking. He learned that silence was easier than pain. Every day after class, while everyone else went home, Malik stayed behind. The auto shop was his refuge. Old engines, scrap metal, broken circuits, those were his friends. He built things, repaired things, dreamed of a world that didn't laugh at him. His mother, Tanya, worked double shifts just to keep the lights on. She used to say, "Baby, one day they'll see your hands were made to build, not to beg." He'd just smile, wiping grease from his fingers, whispering back, "Yeah, maybe one day." That day came sooner than anyone expected. Before we dive in, don't forget to like this video, hit the subscribe button, and tell me in the comments section where you are watching from. Now let's begin. It started like any other Friday. Gray sky, rain clouds rolling in. But at 11:47 a.m., something happened. The lights flickered, the alarm started, and then, boom, an explosion rocked the science building. Students screamed, running for the doors. Mr. Conrad shouted orders no one followed. The halls filled with smoke. The power went out. Everyone ran, except Malik. He heard a voice, faint, crying for help. "Please, someone help." It was Ella, one of the girls who always laughed the loudest when they mocked him. Malik didn't think twice. He ran straight toward the flames. The lab door was twisted. The floor was covered in shattered glass. Ella was trapped beneath a metal shelf, her leg pinned down, blood pooling fast. "Hold on, Ella, I got you," he said, coughing through the smoke. "It's stuck," she cried. He grabbed the edge, his hands blistering, skin burning, but he didn't stop. He pulled until the metal gave way and freed her leg. The ceiling cracked above them. He wrapped her arm around his shoulder and dragged her out, step by step, through the smoke and falling debris. The fire roared behind them. The building groaned. And when the final wall gave way, Malik pushed her through the doorway and collapsed outside, gasping for air. By the time the firefighters arrived, Malik was the last one out. His shirt torn, his skin blackened with soot, eyes red but alive. In his arms, the same girl who used to call him names. She clung to him, crying, whispering, "I thought you left me." And Malik, with a faint, tired smile, said, "Not my style." Phones were everywhere. Recording, posting. The same students who once mocked him now whispered his name with awe. He went back in there. He saved her life. Even Mr. Conrad stood speechless. For once, the man who always looked down on him had nothing to say. By morning, Malik's face was everywhere. Local news, social media, the front page of the Merriton Gazette. Local teen saves classmate from explosion. They called him brave, a hero. But Malik didn't want fame. He wanted the truth. Because something about that explosion didn't sit right. He remembered hearing a faint click before the blast. A smell, not of chemicals, but fuel. So that night, in his small garage workshop, he opened his old laptop. He had managed to copy the school's security footage the week before as part of his repair project for the tech club. He scrubbed through the timeline, frame by frame. Everything looked normal until it didn't. 10 minutes before the explosion, someone walked out of the lab. A man in a dark jacket, gloves on his hands. Malik's stomach twisted. He paused the video, zoomed in. The image was blurry, but then, in a reflection on the glass, he saw it. A face he recognized. A face that made his heart stop. It was Mr. Conrad, the teacher who humiliated him for years. The man who told him he'd never amount to anything. He had been in the lab minutes before it exploded. Malik leaned closer to the screen, whispering, "What were you doing there, Mr. Conrad?" Just then, headlights flickered through the window. He froze, looked outside. A black SUV idled across the street. Windows tinted. Engine running. Someone was inside, watching his house. The lights blinked twice. A signal. Then the engine revved, slow and deliberate. Malik backed away from the window. His mother was asleep upstairs. The rain hit harder. Thunder rolled in the distance. He looked back at the screen, at Conrad's face, frozen in that frame, and whispered, "This isn't over." Because deep down, he knew the fire wasn't an accident. Someone had started it. Someone with something to hide. And now, someone was making sure he never found out. He thought surviving the fire made him a hero. But it didn't. It made him a target. The rain fell harder that night, a cold, relentless storm tapping against Malik's window like it was trying to warn him. He stood there, frozen, staring at the black SUV, idling across the street. Its headlights blinked twice again. Deliberate. Watching. Waiting. He could feel the weight of unseen eyes through the tinted glass. His pulse quickened. He turned off the light, crouched beside the window, and whispered to himself, "Why are they watching me?" Downstairs, his mother's soft snore came from the couch, exhausted from another double shift. Malik didn't wake her. He couldn't. Not until he knew what was happening. He quietly opened his laptop again. The image of Mr. Conrad still stared back at him from the frozen frame. The faint reflection of his face in the lab window. 10 minutes before the explosion. Malik replayed it again and again. The timestamp was clear. 11:37 a.m. That was the same minute the security logs went blank. Someone had wiped the footage after that. But Malik's copy, his backup, had survived. He grabbed a flash drive and saved the file. As he ejected it, he heard it, the sound of a car door shutting. He looked out the window. The SUV's lights were off. The street was dark. Someone was walking toward the house. Slow. Measured. The crunch of wet gravel under heavy boots. Malik's breath caught in his throat. He unplugged his laptop, turned off the screen, and stepped back. Then, 3 knocks. Firm. Precise. He didn't answer. A voice came through the door, low, calm, professional. "Malik Johnson? We just want to ask you a few questions about the fire." Malik stayed silent. The voice continued. "We know you've seen something you shouldn't have." He could see the faint shadow of movement through the frosted glass. 2 figures. One taller. One broader. He whispered, "Corporate operatives." His heart pounded. He'd seen enough news stories to recognize the tone. Men who didn't ask twice. Then came the metallic click of a door handle trying to turn. Malik bolted. He ran to his mother. "Mom, wake up." She blinked, confused. "What's wrong?" "We have to go. Now." He grabbed her coat, his laptop, and the flash drive. Just as they reached the back door, glass shattered in the front. "Malik Johnson, stop right there, eh?" shouted. He and his mother sprinted into the backyard, rain slapping their faces. They jumped the fence and ducked into the alley behind their house. Malik's lungs burned. He could hear footsteps behind them, fast, closing in. He led his mother down a narrow path toward Dr. Reed's workshop, the only place he knew they'd be safe. Dr. Samuel Reed was his mentor, an old engineer who believed in him when no one else did. The man who once said, "People fear what they don't understand, Malik. That's why you have to keep building anyway." The workshop lights were off when they arrived. Malik banged on the metal door. "Dr. Reed." "It's Malik." Silence. Then, after a long second, a faint creak, the door opening. Just a crack. The old man's tired eyes peeked out. "Malik? What? They're coming. Please, we don't have time." Reed let them in, locking the door behind them. The hum of machinery filled the dimly lit space. Circuits glowing faintly under old lamps. Malik plugged in his flash drive, pulled up the footage, and showed it to Reed. "That's Mr. Conrad. He was there before the blast." Reed leaned closer, squinting through his glasses. "You're sure?" "Yes. And now people are after me. I think they're from Merriton Corporation." Reed's expression darkened. "The same company funding your school's tech program." Malik nodded. "They said it was for student research. But what if it wasn't?" Reed hesitated, his voice low. "Malik, there's something I never told you. That lab, it wasn't just for school projects. The company used it to test an energy prototype, something that could replace fossil fuel batteries. I helped design it years ago." Malik frowned. "You built it?" "No," Reed said quietly. "I tried to stop it." He turned to a locked cabinet, pulled out an old metal folder, and handed Malik a sealed envelope. Inside was a printed memo stamped confidential, Merriton Research Division. Malik scanned the page, his stomach twisted. It listed the test subjects for prototype M energy serum, and among the names was his teacher, Conrad M. Malik whispered. He was part of the experiment, Reed nodded. And he wasn't supposed to survive. That explosion, it wasn't an accident, Malik. It was cleanup. The old man's voice trembled. You stumbled onto something they buried for years. Suddenly, headlights flashed through the workshop window. The same SUV. Closer this time. Tires grinding on gravel. Reed turned off the lights. They found us. He grabbed a small device from the table, a glowing transmitter. Take this, he said, pressing it into Malik's hand. It's a tracker. It'll lead you to the original data logs. Proof of everything. Malik shook his head. I'm not leaving you. Reed's eyes were steady. You don't have a choice. They want the boy who has the file. Glass shattered behind them. A flashlight beam cut through the darkness. There, by the back. Reed shoved Malik toward the exit. Go, son. Protect the truth. Malik grabbed his mother's hand and ran out through the emergency door, rain pouring down like a curtain of fire. He turned once, saw Reed facing the men, hands raised, defiant. Then, a gunshot. Malik screamed, but Tanya pulled him away. Don't look back, baby. Keep running. They stumbled into the storm, sirens in the distance, hearts breaking and racing at once. They ran until the lights of the town disappeared behind them, until their breath came in shallow gasps. Finally, they stopped under an old bridge, soaked and shivering. Malik opened his hand. The transmitter glowed faintly blue. Its signal pulsed, pointing somewhere east, toward the industrial district. He stared at it, rain dripping down his face. He died for this, he whispered. His mother squeezed his shoulder, trembling. Then make it count. Malik nodded slowly. I will. He looked up. A flash of lightning split the sky. For a moment, he saw movement on the overpass above them. Two silhouettes, standing perfectly still, watching. One of them lifted a phone to his ear. Then a familiar voice echoed faintly through the storm, mechanical, cold. He's got the device. Do not lose him. Malik froze. That voice. He'd heard it before. In the classroom. It was Mr. Conrad. The man he saved, the man everyone trusted, wasn't the victim. He was the architect.